So you check your credit report and there it is. That sinking feeling in your stomach when you see a collection account staring back at you. It feels like your score just fell off a cliff. The big question is, how do you actually fight back and fix it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down right now. The second that collection account hits your report, your score can drop like a rock. We're talking as much as 100 points, instantly. It's one of the single most damaging things that can happen to your credit, and it basically flashes a huge red flag to any lender looking at your file. So what's the first thing you think of doing? Probably, okay, I'll just pay it off, get rid of it, problem solved, right? It makes perfect sense. You scrape the money together, you send it to the collector, and you wait for that score to jump right back up. And that right there is probably the single biggest mistake people make. Just paying off that collection, it might not help your score one bit. And get this, with some of the most common scoring models, a paid collection is seen as just as bad as an unpaid one. It's wild. All right, so to really understand how to beat this thing, we've got to understand what we're up against. Let's pull back the curtain on what a collection account really is and why it casts such a long shadow over everything. So a collection stays on your report for 7 long years. But here's the part most people get wrong, and it's super important. That 7-year clock doesn't start when you pay the collection. No, it starts from the date you first missed a payment on the original bill. The damage is definitely worse in those first couple of years, but that negative mark follows you around for a very long time. Okay, so this gets us right to the heart of the problem. Why doesn't paying the debt just fix everything? Well, it all boils down to the fact that there are different credit scores, and they all look at collections in a totally different way. And this table says it all. Just look at that first one, FICO 8. That is still the most popular score that lenders use for car loans, credit cards, you name it. And for FICO 8, a paid collection has the exact same negative impact as an unpaid one. So you do the right thing, you pay your debt, and the score that matters most doesn't care. It's still punishing you. Now, the newer scores, like FICO 9 and Vantage Score, they're much smarter. They completely ignore paid collections. But here's the kicker. You don't get to choose which score the lender uses, so you have to plan for the toughest one. So listen, the goal isn't just to pay the collection. The goal is to get it deleted from your report entirely. And while there are no guarantees, you actually have 2 very powerful tools you can use to try and make that happen. This is where we stop playing defense and start playing offense. You don't have to just sit there and take it for 7 years. Nope, you can actually negotiate with these collectors. Let's get into the 2 main strategies. Which tool you use comes down to one really simple question. Have you paid the collection yet? If it is still unpaid, your move is a pay for delete letter. That is a straight-up business negotiation. If you've already paid it, then your option is a Goodwill deletion letter, which is basically asking for a favor. Okay, let's look at the pay for delete first. You're basically making a deal. You're offering them money, which is what they want, in exchange for them deleting the negative mark, which is what you want. But the most important part, the part you absolutely cannot forget, is step 4. Do not, and I mean do not, send them 1 penny until you have an agreement in writing on their letterhead saying they will delete the account from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So what if you already paid it? Well, you can't really negotiate with money they already have in their pocket. That's where a Goodwill letter comes into play. Here, you're appealing to their human side. You write a polite letter, explain what happened, maybe you were in the hospital or lost your job, and you ask them as a gesture of goodwill to please remove the mark. It's a long shot, for sure, but hey, it doesn't cost you anything to ask. Look, getting that collection deleted is a massive victory. It stops the bleeding. But to really put your score recovery on the fast track, you have to start building new, positive credit history. And stick around, because I'm about to show you the single fastest way to add positive points back to your credit report. All right, let's shift gears. We're moving from damage control to proactively rebuilding. The game plan now is simple. Bury that old negative stuff under a mountain of new, positive, on-time payments. And for that, there are 3 amazing tools at your disposal: a secured credit card, a credit builder loan, and becoming an authorized user. Each one helps you rebuild in a slightly different way. First up, the secured card. Think of this as your training wheels to get back into good credit habits. You give the bank a small security deposit, like $200 or $300, and that becomes your credit limit. Just use it for something small, like your Spotify or Netflix bill, pay it in full every single month, and boom, you're building a brand new history of perfect payments. Next, we have the credit builder loan. Now, this is a brilliant little tool. It's like a loan in reverse. You make small monthly payments to a lender, and they report those payments to the credit bureaus. Then, at the end of the loan term, they give you all your money back. It's basically a forced savings account that builds your credit at the same time. And here it is. This is the one, the absolute fastest way to potentially get a quick score boost. If you have someone you trust, maybe a parent or a spouse, who has a credit card with a long, perfect history, ask them to add you as an authorized user. You don't even need the card. Their years of on-time payments and their low borrowings can get copied onto your credit report, giving you a serious leg up.
Wow, okay, we've covered a ton of ground. We went from that initial shock of finding a collection all the way to a real concrete plan to not just get rid of it, but to come back with a stronger score than ever before.
So let's just boil it all down to a simple 3-step plan. Step 1, always check for errors. If the collection isn't right, dispute it. Step 2, if it is right, negotiate to get it removed using those letters we talked about. And step 3, rebuild. Proactively add positive credit to your file. So that's the roadmap. The only question left is, what's the one thing you can do today to get started? Are you going to pull your credit reports? Start drafting that letter? Just pick one thing and take that first step.
Hey, if this was helpful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for more strategies just like this. And you'll definitely want to check out our next explainer. We're going to do a deep dive and give you a word-for-word template for writing that perfect Goodwill letter. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.